No, they can't hear you at all. You don't come through until I do screen share. Hold on just a second.
Good morning, I'm Savannah, and my dad will be here in a few minutes, but first I just want to let you know on some things. So the first thing that I want to do is, if you haven't gotten your Rise and Grind planner, go on to glenlundy.com and get yours now. It comes in black and teal, and it has daily quotes inside of it for every day. I have one of those too, but it's just the plain black one. If you haven't done so already, my dad made a new podcast with Michael Sorello. He does really funny voices. We came to see him, well, he came to see us one time, and it's called After the Grind. You can find it anywhere you get your favorite podcasts. If you haven't been to one of my dad's conferences, you really need to check out Hustle and Grind 3. It's really loud and there's lots of lights, but it is a lot of fun. You really need to check it out.
Let me just share with you, I am a raving fan advocate of the Hustle and Grind Con. It is truly a revolution in our industry.
It's been put together by Sean Hayes, Glenn Lundy, and David Benson. For their first conference, I am totally blown away. Not only did we get great information, we got tons of motivation, but the most important thing, we got a lot of inspiration.
I've met people that blew my mind. I didn't know it was possible that people could be this amazing. People I knew online for the last year, they're bigger, better, more real than I thought they'd ever be.
Over 400 people that came together that had a passion to grow as one, to help eradicate the negative stigma in the car business.
Meeting everyone that you build relationships with off of social media was awesome to me.
Somebody should come to the Hustle and Grind Con to network, and exchange ideas. I was hanging out with a couple guys from another dealership, and they were giving me a couple ideas on things that we should do, and a lot of ideas that I had, they're going to implement.
I strongly encourage you to be here at the next conference. I promise you this, it will absolutely change the game for you. It's nothing like you've ever seen. The Hustle and Grind Conference is definitely a game changer.
My name is Marissa, and I am going to get that bag from Glenn Lundy. And Mr. Lundy, I know your name is with 2 N's, but I didn't have another one. Oh, and by the way, I just got done exercising. You probably saw my brother Joel doing the blessing bag. If you still want to get one, they're at glenlundy.com, and I think it's really cool how we're using them to help homeless people. Have you guys seen that video of that little girl doing the Morning 5? If you are still doing the Morning 5 challenge, great job. If you haven't, you can learn more about it at morning5.com. If you haven't done so already, you need to check out Rise and Grind University. It's like an online school, and you can learn how to do things like sales and play guitar. And one day we might put in like how to make your bed, because Willem really needs to do that. But it's mostly made out of life skills, and we already have t-shirts for it. If you want to find out more, then go to riseandgrinduniversity.com. And here's my dad, Glenn Lundy!
Good morning and welcome to Hashtag Rise and Grind. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one, a father to seven, and the creator of what is going to be the #1 most watched morning show in the world. It is 5:30 a.m. and I hope that you are ready to rise and grind.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Friday, January 17th, 2020. That's right, Friday, January 17th, 2020. And what's crazy is today is the very first and very last time it will ever be Friday, January 17th, 2020. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most of this absolutely incredible day. Fair enough? You with me with that? Let's make the absolute most of this absolutely incredible day. And I got to tell you, we're going to do that because today on Hashtag Rise and Grind, I have one of the most incredible superhumans I've ever had the pleasure and the honor of meeting in my life. My guest today, Mr. Steve Spray, has an amazing story of how he took the leap. He made a way. He's just got this incredible discipline and the skills, and he did what it took to create an incredible life for himself and for all of the people around him. He's got such a huge heart. This is a guy that's been in my home. He's slept in my house. He's hung out with kids hanging from every arm while he was there. He's just an incredible human being. He's been a huge part of my success in sales, and I'm so excited to bring him over to you. Before we do, though, I do want you to go ahead and open up your Hashtag Rise and Grind interactive planner if you haven't done so already. Today's quote right at the top, it says, and I find it very fitting, it says, "Different isn't always better, but better is always different." And that was a quote that was submitted by Yvonne Cooper. And I'm not sure if it's this Yvonne or this Yvonne. So I went ahead and went with both pictures because I don't want to leave somebody out. But I appreciate the submission of the quote. I think about what that says. I think about how it applies in my life. And even with our guest today, Steve Spray, it says, it says that different isn't always better, but better is always different. And what that means is that in order for things to get better in your life, something has to change. And yet so many people are afraid, they're fearful, they run from change. Like if you look at Steve, who you're getting ready to meet, he had to move. Like he literally had to move from the state of Indiana to where he's now at down in Florida in order for his life to get to the next level. I had to move. I had to leave from the West. I had to leave Arizona. I had to leave San Diego. I had to make my way to Kentucky in order for me, like something had to change. Maybe for you, it's your morning routine that needs to change, right? We've been hammering that. We've been talking about that. Maybe you need to jump on board with the Morning 5 Challenge, which you can get more information on that at themorning5.com. But maybe it's just something as simple as your morning routine needs to change. Maybe it's something in your dealership as far as a mindset that needs to change, a standard of average that needs to change. Maybe it's a process or a strategy. But here's the thing. You cannot. It is impossible for you to increase, get better results without making some type of change. So don't be afraid of change. Embrace it. Change is the stepping stone to get you to get you to that next level. Listen, understand in order for things to get better, something has to change. And things did change and get better for my man, Steve Spray. I'm going to bring him here in just a second. Before we do, you know what we got to do? That's right. Let's get some music going up in here. Let's get the blood flowing. Let's get the body moving. All that good stuff. Get the heart pumping. Let's dance a little bit. This is the part of the show. For those of you that know and those of you that don't know, this is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. That's right. I need you to hit that share button, because I believe if we can change the way people start their day, it'll make a massive impact on this planet. I truly believe that. And sometimes all it takes for you to change the way somebody starts their day is for you to hit that share button. This is also the part of the show where I'm going to say good morning to you, and I want you to say good morning to me. Whether you're watching live or you're watching on replay, say what's up. I'll say what's up back. Good morning, Jeremy Noling. Fancy meeting you here, sir. What's up, Mike Higdon? How you doing, Jennifer Jaskell and Emily Gowler? What's up, Melinda Gahemer? We've got MD Nazrul Islam is up in the house. How you doing, CC Eberly and Jeff Baker? Mrs. Janelle Griego and John Coltonborn. What's up, Bruce McDonald, my man? How you doing, Laura Berman and Miss Allison Musante? We got Whitney Wells, Tina Davis Bacon. I love me some bacon first thing in the morning. I'm just saying. What's up, Isaac Santana? Dude, I heard a story about you. I am so glad to see you here on hashtag Rise and Grind. What's up, Raymond Culp? How you doing? Rebecca, Kevin Strohsnyder. That's actually Kevin, not Rebecca. But I'm going to say hi to both. How you doing, Dana Fishbein, Michael Mills, Brandy Mumon? What's up, Michael Anthony Johnson? Kristen Hawk Tibbs is up in here. My man, Zach Doyle. And, of course, Josh. What's up, Spencer Nicholson? How you doing, Kim Wilson and Tina Kelly Overfelt, Rick Tamburino? Everybody's up in here on hashtag Rise and Grind. Hey, on the for real, when we have a guest on the show, the best way we can honor that guest is to get this message out as far and wide as humanly possible. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to the one and only Mr. Steve Spray.
What's up, guys? My name's Steve Spray. I'm a sales and marketing manager here for Grant Cardone. And so, as you know, Grant's running a special right now just on mentorship. And for me, this has been huge. It's been a complete game changer for my entire life. I mean, I grew up just like what he talks about. You know, I grew up with, a surrounding lifestyle where average was everywhere. There was people not thinking about the things that Grant Cardone talks about, like success and money. And so that's what I was brought up with, just around me, everywhere. And so Grant was really the first person who said, hey man, success is possible. He was the first guy who said, you should be a millionaire. And so for me, that was huge, because I was like, dude, I want to be a millionaire. And at that moment, that was what changed the way I was thinking. And so I've been everywhere in my life. I've had a lot of sales jobs. I've lived in a furniture store, had to sell my car. I rode the bus every single day. I mean, man, it was tough. But the one thing that got me out of it was having Grant Cardone as a mentor to show me that, hey, listen, man, you're almost there. You're getting there. You're doing all the right things. And just having that path to get me where I want to go has led me to where I'm at today. And I'm one of the top producers here in the company. I'm going to make close to 7 figures this year as a salesperson, man, which is something that for me, where I grew up, was not something that was talked about. It was not encouraged. If you did that, you were some kind of freak that nobody even knew that person. That was some celebrity that nobody knew, and it'd be so great to be that one day. But man, Grant Cardone was the first guy who made it real for me. So thanks so much, Grant, for everything you've done just as a mentor. Not only that, I've been able to take the success that I've had, and now I've been able to make income that wasn't real before, and now have surpluses of it to put it and park it into real estate investments that is going to ensure my wealth forever. So thank you for everything. Guys, you need to do the mentorship, man. It's been unbelievable for me, and it's going to be unbelievable for you.
A 7-figure sales. You said? Is that what you said? Did you say a 7-figure salesperson?
Right, man.
Ha! You know what I love, Steve? I love that. So that video is like 2 years ago. It's 2017.
I know. I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, dude, that was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. But what I love in there is you're like, where I come from, that wasn't even heard of. You were like some type of celebrity, and then fast forward, and here you are, like Steve Spray. You are some type of celebrity, man. Are you kidding me? It is an honor to be in your presence this morning. Welcome to hashtag Rise and Grind. How you doing, my man?
Man, I'm doing amazing, man. It's so good to be here, and I love what you're doing. So it's exciting. Thank you so much for having me on.
Hey, thanks, bro, dude. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a little fun today because you and I are friends, right? You and I are friends. A lot of my guests, like, I don't even know them yet. I'm like doing some research the night before, but you're my boy, right? You're the Steve Spray. So we're gonna have a little fun this morning. I want to pick up the pace because I know you like to move fast, and I like to move fast. So we're just gonna go. I'm gonna go fast five real quick. You ever play Fast Five?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
All right, boom. Favorite musician?
Drake.
Drake, yes, nice.
I like
favorite vacation destination?
I like to go to LA a lot. Yeah, LA's good.
That's where you met your girl, right?
Yeah,
That's why you got a little reminiscence there. If you can only eat one meal the rest of your life, what are you gonna eat?
I don't know if I'll be alive that long, but this one's called Tarines Verdes. It's like green spaghetti with steak on top. It's a Peruvian dish. It's not the most healthiest thing, but it's the most unbelievable thing for sure.
That sounds delicious.
It's so good.
I love it. Say it again.
I don't even say it that right, but because I don't speak Spanish, but it's called Tarines Verdes. And it's green spaghetti. It's got steak on top. It's unbelievable. If you ever get to go to a Peruvian place, try it. Like, it's so good.
Do you think you and I could find that in Vegas when we're out there for 10X Growth Con? Do you think we can find some Peruvian food out there?
I'm committed to finding it. So.
That's right. I love that. I'm committed to it. That's beautiful. All right. We got two more. You're stranded on a desert island. It's just you have two items with you. You and two items. What are those two items?
That's a good question, man.
See, I told you we're gonna get you going this morning.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm on an island. Man, I need probably a bottle of water and.
Good choice.
Dude, my gold book, man. My gold book. How am I gonna get out of there if I don't have my gold book?
That's right. You gotta have the goal book so you can write the goal. The goal every day. You're like, get off the island.
Find friends.
That's right. Awesome, man. All right, last one. What animal do you most identify with?
Oh man, I don't know.
What kind of animal is Steve Spray?
Dude, I think probably I feel like it's funny because this is the car I drive, the Jaguar.
Okay.
I always thought about this because this animal is like, dude, you don't ever see them.
Right.
They're quiet, but dude, they're quick. If they need to make a move, man, they make one, So that's a great question. I would have to go with the Jaguar.
I love that, dude. And now that you mention it, that's Steve Spray right there, dude. Like, you don't have to be. You're not the lion, right? You're not the lion that's like, ah, I'm here, Steve Spray, hear me roar, right? You're not the lion. You're just that jaguar that's hard to see. I actually just yesterday I was watching a nature show with my son, and we watched a jaguar take out an alligator in the water, dude. Jumped on him from the tree.
Yeah,
grabbed him. The alligator did the death roll. This jaguar hung on, dude, and took out an alligator. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. No, it's amazing, man. You literally you can do it. You can do anything like that, So, but I'm not. You're right. I'm not the lion guy. Like, I don't need to go around and like tell people that I'm the king of the jungle, So right. I like that. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Good choice. What a way to start. Steve, we're starting off the day here. Hashtag Rise and Grind, 5:30 a.m. Eastern time. Super important. When you popped on, you're already cleaned up, freshened up, looking nice. Your girl's out there on the balcony setting goals. Let's talk about this real quick since this is a morning show. What does your morning routine look like, and what does it mean to you and your success?
Well, I mean, I'll tell you first thing, like, this has probably been one of the most important things. Like, when I go back and I look, like, it's so easy to do that I feel like people don't do it. And my morning is so simple. Like, I wake up every single morning. Now, I know people talk about not looking at the phones in the morning. Like, I'm not doing that, but what I am doing is I'm getting some information on my phone because I do training. So, like, for me, I'm a salesperson. I'm in a sales job. I'm in a sales role. I do sales training every single morning, same time. Like, if you ever want to know exactly what I'm doing, right when I get up, that's what I'm doing. So I'll do that for about 15, 20 minutes. Then I'll eat a little bit of food. I'll go down and I work out in my gym. And so what happens is, like, I have to work out every single day. I pretty much run 2 miles every single morning. I've been doing that for probably, I would say, at least 6, 7 years. I do 2 miles minimum. That's the minimum. So Saturday and Sunday, I run probably 5 or 6 miles each of those days. Just depends on how I'm feeling. And so I do that. So I do morning workout, or I do the morning training. Then I do the morning goals before I work out, and then I go work out, and then I come back and I shower and I move into my day. And it's about, it's about an hour every morning right before I get started, but it's like the most crucial time. And everything that happens in that first slot sets the tone for what's going to happen for the rest of the day.
Yeah, it's like laying the foundation, right? You're laying that foundation, and for you jump on your phone, but like you said, you're not letting the outside world in. It's not like you're jumping into social media and jumping into the news and the negativity and the politics, but you're diving into your craft. You're spending 15, 20 minutes on the thing that centers you, right? You are the internet or the sales guy, right?
That's right. It's funny because so my girl, she's her name's Lucia. I know you know her, but so when we first moved in together, we've been together for 3 years. When we first moved in together, like, she was freaked out.
Hold on just a second, Steve.
For
some reason, our internet, look, the world doesn't want you to, so it's froze on their side. So I don't want you to have to talk twice.
Okay.
Hold on. It's crazy, man. Lately we've been having the weirdest attacks on our show, man. It's like the bigger we get and the more impactful we get with our guests, the tougher it's been.
Oh, there it goes. It might be back.
And it's showing me it shows me at the top, like when my signal's red, yellow, green.
Oh, wow.
And right now it just went to red. I don't know why. So hold on just a second. Let me switch this back over real quick. Hi. For those of you that are watching, I shouldn't say of course, but we're having a little bit of technical difficulty. And so I'm trying to make sure that the stream is solid. I wonder what happened here. I'm plugged into a landline 5G. I pay a ton for this internet. Like the fastest, craziest internet you can possibly get. And let me see if that helps. It's crazy. I'm going to try something real quick. Hang on just a second, Steve. There we go. Steve, you still there? All right, cool. Why that worked doesn't make any sense to me. But what I just did is I actually unplugged the landline, and now we're on Wi-Fi. And we have completely full green signal.
That same thing happened in my office the other day too. I was plugged, nothing would work, and it was all plugged in the landline, and then I got on the Wi-Fi and everything was working.
Yeah, nuts, dude. But what I love about our Rise and Grinders is that they all stayed right here. Like, they all got kicked off. It went down to 55 viewers, and now we're right back up. So, Steve, now you were sharing with us. You were talking. Go ahead.
Yeah, so my girlfriend, her name's Lucia. We've lived together for 2 years. We've been together for 3. When she first moved in with me, she was asking me questions. She's like, do you always do the same thing every single morning? And then, like, I would hear her just talking to her friends on the phone, like, and then she would me. She's like, yeah, no, he literally does. Like, it was almost like this weird thing, like she'd never seen before. It's like he does the same thing every morning.
Right, right.
And then she started to pick up on it, and she's like. But now she sees it as like, okay, that's what works, and then she also does the same thing. So
right, and like you were saying, it just seems like it's so simple, And that's why a lot of people don't do it. But in reality, it's one of the most life-changing disciplines and habits that you can create in your life. It's just a solid, powerful morning routine. Steve, I got to ask you a question. What would you say makes Steve different? Like, why were you able to pack up and move? Why are you as successful as you are today? Why are you able to hold that discipline of a morning routine for the last 9 and 10 years? Like, what makes you different from not everybody else? There's a lot of other successful people out there, but what makes you different from most people?
Yeah, I think, what ended up happening when I grew up, I grew up with a dad on a farm. Like, I got taught discipline like so early, and I got to watch him. I never really realized this until I was probably like, 28, 29 years old, about how important it was for me just to watch my dad like work, and like just the pride that he had in like taking care of the family. Like, he never talked about it. He was just doing it, and like, and everything was always great. And so like, I got to watch him, and he's got hobbies that are evolved around work. So like, when he would come home from his job, like, we lived on a farm, so like his hobbies were like working on tractors, and like he enjoyed doing the oil change in the trucks and things like that. And so like, I got to see him have a good, like, he liked it, like he respected it, and like he enjoyed it. And so like, I personally took on some of that. And so for me, like, I just have this sense of duty about just doing all the right things, So like, I understand what it takes to do something. Where you asked about me moving, I knew for sure that the people that I was around were not going to be beneficial for my life. I mean, they were doing things that, like, you just can simply look and be like, dude, that's not good.
Right.
And so I had to get away from that. I knew that was possible. What ended up happening was I moved from Indianapolis, Indiana to Miami with all of the problems that you could even imagine. So number one, the main language here is Spanish.
Right.
So I don't speak Spanish.
Right.
Bigger city, the minimum rent here, like in the craziest parts, is 3 times what I ever paid for back in Indiana at like a nice spot.
Right.
So everything got more difficult. But for me, like, I just noticed that, dude, that's what it's going to take. So like, I never said that, I didn't feel like, hey, things were going to be easy. So I think, so for me, like, I know that the discipline, the morning routines, like, that's what it's going to take to have a great day. And I'm just willing to do it, So
right.
I made that comment about it being so easy to do that people don't do it. They don't think it's going to make the change. Like, I don't know. I've seen massive change. Like,
right.
I've been doing it, and it works, and it's great. And I just know that I want to keep doing it.
Yeah, and that's one thing that's always impressed me about you. Your work ethic, it's tenacious, it's relentless. You don't sway from it. Like, even when you came out here, to talk to my team over at Dan Cummins and so on and so forth. And, it was me, you, Josh Cummins. I think somebody else was there with us. And we're like, hey, man, you want to have one more drink? And you're like, bro, it's like 8 o'clock. Like, I gotta go home. I gotta go to bed. I'm presenting to your team tomorrow. Like, even when you were hanging out with me and the owner, like, we're having you inviting you in as a guest, and you're like, dude, I got work to do. I'm here to make sure your team performs at a super high level. And that's just something I've always loved about you. So your dad actually enjoyed hard work, and that transferred over. And I think you're right. I think that's a big difference maker. Is it's easy to work hard if you enjoy hard work, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's hard to work hard if you aren't passionate about what you're doing. You don't love it. You're doing something that, to make somebody else happy, or just because that's what you fell into, then it gets hard. Now, let me ask you this, Steve. Do you dream? I read this thing last week, right? Mm-hmm. And I read that 20% of people dream only in black and white. Do you know that? So here's my question for you. It's a 2-part question. Do you dream in color, or do you only dream in black and white? And when you dream, what type of dreams does a guy like Steve Spray have? I mean, golly, dude, you came from sleeping in the furniture warehouse to now you're up in Miami in this beautiful condo, driving fancy cars and working your tail off to continue to build and wealth. I mean, golly, what does a guy like you dream about now?
I mean, it's interesting because like when you actually have some success, like there's this lesson that is taught to you about what is possible. Cause you start to think, like we were talking about the goals before we came on here. And I'm like, man, I was looking at goals I did 10 years ago. And I'm like, dude, if I was doing that right now, I'd be like, what's happening with you? But like at one point I was writing that stuff down. Like, man, my life would be great if I could do that. When you start to actually achieve those things, everything is possible. And so what ends up happening, like I definitely dream in full color, full everything. I mean, I'm like, you should see some of the goals that I put down. You would almost think that, dude, there's no way you could even accomplish that in a lifetime.
Right.
And not only am I writing them down, like me and my lady are sitting here at night, like we're trying to map this out and figure it out. Like, hey, what do we need to do to get to this? And like, we're talking about crazy stuff, like, jets and real estate empires that like feed our
big time financial freedom. Yeah.
Crazy stuff, and like, and not even in a way for like, it's not about the money. It's like, it's about, dude, that'd be freaking awesome to do that. Like, what if we knock that down? Like, that's how we keep our relationship good. Cause we like create on it,
Right.
And so,
right. I love that. I love that you guys do that together.
Yeah. So, definitely, once you just got to put some goals down too. Like you should really acknowledge yourself. Like you don't need to celebrate forever, but you should acknowledge yourself like, dang, I did that. Because what happens is it leads into, well, man, if I could do that and I wasn't doing that, what can I do now?
Right.
So everything changes. The think changes, the operation changes, the excitement. Like I can get more excited about big things because like me and her, like, we're like waking up and we're like, like what we talked about last night, dude, like, what to do, right? Like these are big goals, but like we're going at them, we're excited about them. And like, it just changes the way we work on a day to day.
Yeah. I think that that's key. And I don't want anybody to just like skip over that or miss that. A lot of people think that we set a goal or we have a dream or there's something that we want to achieve. And then ultimately somehow that's just going to come to us. And what I want you to understand and not miss is what Steve said is him and Lucia they map it out, right? Like they're sitting there the night before, they're going, okay, how are we going to get here? How are we going to get here? And they're propelling themselves. Their energy is coming from the last win. Right? Okay, well, we were able to do that. Great job. How'd you do today? Oh, well, I sold this much. Oh, I closed this deal. Congratulations. High five, right? We're getting the momentum from the last win. We're celebrating. Something I work with my dealerships all the time is I'm like, dude, you guys don't have enough wins. You're not celebrating enough. Like you're setting a pie in the sky goal. Okay, we're going to sell 200 cars in January. Great. How are you going to do that? What's the map? Where's the plan? What are you going to change? Who are you going to train? What's going to be different? And then how do you celebrate along the way when a week in you're sitting on 14 cars, right? Where's the celebration? So we always break it down with my team. I always break it down by the day, right? Maybe the goal today is 5 cars. And we sell 6 cars. Yeah, we can celebrate. Even if we're behind the 200, we got to have ways to celebrate. And so I think that's key. What you said is just crucial. Like celebrate the wins, share it with someone you love, map out the plan, stay disciplined, never give up, dream in full color, right?
That's right.
That's my guy, dude. Steve Spray.
Right. Like those wins are great, man. You go back to that, like selling 200 cars is fun, but like you look back at the days where like you sold 5 or 6, like dude, those are great days.
Those are great days.
Dude, great days.
Yeah,
like
man.
Come home on fire. Like, dude, she knows she doesn't have to ask me if I had a good day or not.
It's in your strut.
Like, dude, when you walk in, you should want to walk in the house every day. Like you should, like everybody should know that you're doing good. Like you should want to build a life that people know, like, dude, he's loving it, man. He's having a good time.
Yeah, Steve's walking in like a Jaguar.
Yeah,
Wow,
exactly.
walking in like the Jaguar every night. I love it. All right, Steve. There's a couple things that are going to happen. You and I are going to run late because that's what I like to do with my guests and stay on. Some people are on very strict and disciplined morning routines, and so they're going to kind of have to hop off. So I'm going to ask you two more questions for those that might need to go, and then you and I might hang out just a little bit longer for those that want to stay. I know you've got a morning routine I got to honor too. But the first question I want to do is I want to make sure that everybody that's watching right now, we got a lot of people here on live, 118 people at 5:45 or 6 o'clock in the morning is pretty impressive. So let's give them, I want to give them 3 sales tips, right? Everybody is in sales. Mm-hmm. Everyone's in sales, whether you're trying to sell your spouse on where you guys are going to live, or if you're trying to sell a girl on becoming your spouse, maybe you're trying to sell your parents on something, or maybe you're trying to sell your kids on something, or maybe you're actually selling a product, right? Like you're selling a car, or you're selling a house, or you're selling whatever, right? So everybody's in sales. So Steve, you being the master sales trainer that you are, and when I say master, I do mean absolute ninja. With you being the sales trainer that you are, I want to give them 3. Give me 3 sales tips that most salespeople or most people in general don't do. I want 3 originals straight from Steve Spray. What do I need to do if I want to win in this sales game?
The number one thing that I do is I look for who has the product. So if you're selling a product, a service, anything, like it's not, get your attention off of those things and get it on who would be the one to buy this, and start looking at, man, who would actually fit this role. And so most people think about, man, I'm in the car business, I'm in the furniture business, I'm in this and that. Dude, you're in the people business.
Right.
And if you can understand that, and if you can really get your head wrapped around that, because I think about people first, and I don't think about, oh man, I got to sell a training package, or, oh, I got to train somebody. I think about, dude, who would win with this? Who would take this program and actually do really well with this? And then I start thinking about, man, who would I need to connect with to really get there? And so if you can get your mind off the product that you sell, the service, and if you can transition into who has that, it just changes, and you start reaching out to people, and you start thinking, oh, I didn't reach out to this guy and call that guy. Then everything changes. And so that's the number one thing that I always go with. The second thing I would say, probably one of the biggest things that helped me in sales was just learning about it, like studying the information. So closing strategies is, if you can really understand them, because I'm an ethical guy. I don't do any type of like trickery type sales. So the sales that I do are really just to help me articulate what I know about what I do. Mm-hmm. And so closing strategies are really set up to help you word things in a way where people are like, okay, I get that. So if you can just think about having the right information, the right words to say, because again, they're not buying the product, they're buying the advantages and they're buying the benefits. And if you can, relate the advantages and the benefits to what they're doing, these are some basic sales strategies. What ends up happening is, dude, they get excited. They're like, yeah, no, that's a great benefit, man. Let's do something. And it creates urgency.
Beautiful.
And then I would say number 3, you guys got to use social media to, like, I use social media all the time on the prospects that I'm looking at to find out who they are. Again, I'm dealing with people. So like, I'll look people up and I'll go in and I'll find out, like, hey, what's up with this person? What are they like? What are they interested in? Because when I talk to them and I go speak with them, I just want to be able to connect with the person, because I know what I do is good. I know that if they knew what I did about what I have, they would have hooked up a long time ago. We wouldn't even be having this conversation. And so I just know that, hey man, I got to get connected with these people. So, I think understanding that it's people, these are basic things, right? So we're not even getting into strategies. These are basic, like, dude, you need to start.
They're super strong though, bro. They're basic in your world, but these are super strong. Think about the who first, more than the product. Think about the who, right? Then make sure that you're trained in a way that you can translate the benefits to that person in an effective manner, respect their time, right? Yeah. And 3, make sure you know, like, what they care about. Look into their social media. It's all out there. You're 100% right. So basic. but yet so powerful, so effective, and people don't do it.
Yeah. Think about this for a second, real quick. You got, let's just say, because I know a lot of your audience is from the automotive space.
Sure.
And so think about just this. And this could be for anything, by the way. You got somebody coming in. You got somebody coming into a store. You got their name. Just look them up online. Find out who they are. Like, this isn't stalking. They put that information on the internet for people to see.
Right. They want you to know it.
Like, dude, these people are screaming like, this is who I am. And then all of a sudden they get to your store and you don't even acknowledge who they are. You're like, you're just some dull salesperson that says, hey, you want a 2-door, 4-door automatic? It's like, man, pay attention to what's happening here. We're on a planet. There's more people on this planet than like almost anything. Like, this is what we're doing here. So get connected. It will make a difference for your business.
Dude, I love it. And I love the perspective of they put it out there because they're screaming like, this is who I am. Look, I'm a meme person, cat loving. I drink my coffee. I have bad hair days. I don't like hump day. I'm looking forward to Friday. I have 3 kids. I'm a mess. Like, they want you to know, here's me.
Exactly, because think about it. You get them into the car. You're trying to show them stuff. You flip down the visor. You're like, this one's got a big visor for those bad hair days.
That's right.
But if you didn't know, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, just pay attention. Like, being successful is so simple. It's not complicated. So I would say, like, if you can just think about those things, it'll change the way your outcome is.
That's strong, bro. That is strong stuff. Listen, I'm going to let a few people out of here this morning. Before we do, though, I got to put you up on top of a mountaintop real quick, all right? So just imagine Steve Spray on a mountain. You're like up at the top, dude. You're strutting around all Jaguar style, and all of civilization. Literally all of civilization is around, and they're looking up and they're like, Steve Spray, Steve Spray, Steve Spray, Steve Spray, Steve Spray. They're just cheering you on, man, and the lights, and there's helicopters. Little spotlights and everything's on Steve Spray, dude. And you've got the stage and you've got literally 2 minutes. 2 minutes to drop some practical application wisdom, something that people can apply in their lives today, this week, this month, this year, that's going to change them forever. What are you going to tell them, Steve?
Dude, I would tell people this. I would say, listen, if you can think outside of just what you're doing, if you can really get beyond, but also pay attention to who you are. You can think about you think about your relationships, you think about your families, you think about the people in your society. If you can strengthen all of these together, you guys can have an unbelievable life. If you stop and only think about one of them, something is going to be punished. And you don't have to. And there's a lot of information out there, people talking about, maybe you need to pay attention to this. You can have everything that you want. Just create a life that incorporates all of those things. And so, a lot of people are, you're brought up. Just, you guys have got to understand that you were in an aquarium at one point. You were in an aquarium called your economy or your environment. If it's any other aquarium in the world, you drop something into that aquarium, it affects everything in there. Every fish in that aquarium gets affected. And so you have to understand that you grew up, you are currently in an aquarium called your surroundings. And so whatever is being dropped in there, you need to pay attention that even if you think that doesn't affect you, it affects you in some way. And so when you can start cleaning up what's happening in your environment, the game changes. So if you can just stay disciplined, hold people accountable, be harder on people. You know what I mean? When was the last time you said, hey, stop that, to somebody that was like, maybe not even knowing what they're doing? And it might not even be their fault. You say, hey, man, why are you talking about that, man?
Right.
Why are we even having it? So you guys can create the life that you want. I would tell you that everything is possible if you just do the simple things that other people have really done. So the morning routines are great. Get those in place. Write your goals down. Set targets for the goals. We talked about that on this call today. So, I think that if you're not thinking about creating, if you're not thinking about creating a great life, then like, what are you doing? You're just on automatic mode. you can't be having fun that way. And so I would tell you guys, be productive, have fun, help people, and you'll be all right.
I love it, man. I love the concept that you just touched on, because so many people feel like they have to sacrifice joy. They have to sacrifice this in order to have this. I have to sacrifice my relationships in order to be successful in business. I have to sacrifice in business in order to have a relationship with my kids. Everyone thinks that you have to make that sacrifice. And the reality is, with good disciplines, good routines, good healthy habits, being aware of everything in your environment, that is so powerful. Being aware of everything that is in your environment, you truly can have it all. My man Steve Spray, dude, you are an amazing human being, clearly uniquely made by the God of the universe. The God that made everything made you to be the absolute best version of yourself that you can possibly be. And you're doing it, bro. You're living big. And the decisions you're making every day, Steve, I see it. These decisions that you're making, they're making an impact. It's making an impact on your friends, your family members, your coworkers. This morning, you made an impact on me and all these other people out there in social media land, thousands of people that will watch this show today. And I, for one, bro, absolutely love you for it.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Love you too.
Yeah, dude, you're the best. Hang tight right here in the green room for just a second, all right? I'm going to let these folks go. Fair enough?
Yep, I'll be here.
All right. Oh, how do I turn this thing off? Maybe, Steve. Maybe, if I can get out of here.
Yeah, we can hang out here all day long, bro.
Cool. Whoa, that was my man Steve Spray. That's right, Steve Spray. He's an incredible human being. If you haven't done so already, please follow Steve Spray on Facebook. You can also follow Steve Spray on Instagram. His Instagram is like crack-a-lackin', pop-a-loppin'. It's amazing what he does over on Instagram. So make sure you're following Steve Spray over there. Most importantly, though, if you need some more videos like this, and look, I got a delay on this camera. Crazy. Let's go to Yvonne. Maybe that'll help. Nope. If you need more videos like this, you can go to GlennLundy.com. That's right, GlennLundy.com. But most importantly, will you do me a huge favor? Will you have a massive, incredible, amazing, over-the-top, phenomenal weekend, and then come back here again Monday morning, 5:30, because we're going to do this all over again on hashtag Rise and Grind. Have an incredible day, my friend.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. Hashtag Rise and Grind, hashtag Rise and Grind.